Twin motor. Let's crack on. Hello and welcome to another MrBetaByte video, and this one's a little bit different insofar as we're going to look at this tape deck that I've had kicking about for a really very long time, and I've been desperate to look at it just because it came out, I believe, about 1973. The first schematic copyright date that I can find is 1973. The manual I have is actually from March 1977. So slightly different deck, but essentially the same. It's just slightly different revision. And yeah, this one I actually got from Kevin. Hi Kevin, hope all is well with you. I picked this up with a load of other bits and pieces, and it's been sat on the side, slowly getting buried by other stuff. And I had a clean up, which will be on the members only side. But yeah, I dug this out and I thought, right, I'm going to have a look at this. I'm really quite intrigued to see what this is like. So yeah, I have the manual, and I'm going to power it from batteries. I've got this C-cell adapters, which I actually bought for one of those tiny suitcase valve radios. I've got a Pi one, and which I'll be working on at some point. But I bought it actually for those. Because if you get decent AA cells, then it will do. Obviously, it's not as good as a decent C cell, but hey ho. So this one actually comes with a case, and I haven't actually opened this side up. What do we get? Oh, there's an earphone. Is there anything else in there? Oh, there is. So obviously this is a mono deck. Oh, and then you've got the handle still in its plastic wrapper, and that's it. Super. Okay, so some of you might have fond memories of these, especially if you're a kid growing up in the 80s, using something like this or this very model for computer use to sort of, well, usually load up a computer game from cassette. If you had something like a Beeb or Electron or something that needed an external Sinclair, like some of the early Sinclairs, anything that needed an external tape deck. So you've got the DIN, and you've also got the in-out as radio as well on this, which has slightly different characteristics to compensate. It is mono, of course, and it is twin motor, so I'm quite intrigued to see how well this will perform. It gives a wow and flutter of 0.25%, so it'll be interesting to see what it's actually like after all this time. And I'll be interested to see exactly how old this is. I'm hoping we find a date stamp, but who knows? It'll be quite interesting if we do. So let's get it out of its case. And it's a really well built piece of kit. I think it's actually made in Singapore. Yeah, it's a Singapore TRQ-340 TRQ-340. And I just struggled to get this off. I don't think this has seen much use at all. So absolutely clean battery terminals. You might be able to make out maybe a little bit of brown there. That's actually glue. So yeah, there's been no leakage. So let's start by getting this apart. So we've got screw down here, screw here, 2 screws here. I think that's it. So yeah. Okay. Not quite enough magnetism in my screwdriver, but you know, that's fine. So lift that off. And yeah, look at that for electronics. certainly over time. Sort of wonder what's going on there, because there's a post there. Oh, that is actually, you can take the top off. So that's quite cool. So we might just do that, just to see what's going on. So I don't know how this goes for belts. There is a belt there that you can see is totally had it. But I would expect a belt as a flywheel there. I would expect a belt around that maybe. It's 2 motor, so maybe not. Maybe in a machine that, in a deck that had 1 motor, then maybe that would be used. Any clue on dates? I mean, it was a 1374. So 1974, maybe. That's quite cool. Let's see if we can take the top off. So 2 screws here, it looks like. A screw there, and then that screw there. Possibly. Okay, let's see if this will actually part now. It wants to. I would have thought, well, looking at it, you need to pull it up far enough away. Yeah, you do. So you can pull it out. Don't know if the rubber's going to be kind to me with the microphone. Yeah, should be able to get that out without breaking anything. So, yeah. The other belt is for the counter. By the looks, I think everything else, well, we've got an idler there, and idler tyres. So, which don't feel too bad. I might have some of those, you know. I might have the tyres. I don't think I'll have the idler, but I might have the tyres. And then this is rubber as well. So, as long as the rubber's okay, you should get pretty good torque on that. Pinch roller looks good. So, yeah. Really nice mono deck. So, how on earth do you change that belt easily? I assume you have to use the force a little bit. So let's try and get this off. I think getting it off will be fairly easy. Oh, so under this tape then, which, can I peel it off? Is this held on with tape? That's a bit bonkers. So there's the one belt. I think it is just 2 belts. Bring that down. Just locate that back where it should be. And then this is where it might get a bit interesting. So maybe. Right, so there's a bit of tape here. I can feel there's a hole underneath it, and you can get to the bracket that keeps the. I'm going to push down too hard. The brackets that holds that belt captive. And then lift the belt. Oh, that has gone quite bad. Now I have seen, sort of just looking, because I knew the belts are going to be bad. Goes without saying, doesn't it, really? I have seen mention of a round belt, but this is a square section, so yeah, that's pretty cool. Grease-wise, grease actually seems really, really good, surprisingly, but we'll soon find out when we test it. I might not have wanted to put that down on the carpets or the blankets, but no, that's okay, that's fine. Bit concerned there's a bit of broken plastic, but well, seems to be all okay. So yeah, let me go and find some belts, and we'll see what happens. Let's crack on. I'm just looking at this. Oh, made in Japan. So some parts are made in Japan, but the majority of it is made in Singapore. So it must be assembled in Singapore, maybe. But yeah, even the foam. This foam always breaks down. But this is still fairly intact. You can see there's bits of it breaking off. But yeah, this is actually done really well. Bless it. Yeah, I didn't realise as well. It is mains. 6 volts as well as battery, so you've got 3 different power options there, so that's really cool. A lot of thought put into this, and the motor, I mean, look at the pulley with its 2 grub screws, really heavy flywheel, and that looks in great condition as well. I mean, the belts, none of the belts have melted, so that's really nice. And like I say, the grease is not bad. It's still, well, hasn't hardened at all. So yeah, I'm really very impressed for a relatively cheap piece of kit. I mean, still would have cost lots of money in the day, but you know, I mean, it's not striving to be hi-fi quality. At the end of the day, it's obvious dictation, and yeah, really cool. And obviously recording off the radio in mono, but yeah, actually really impressed. So after quite a search, I managed to find a belt, and the belt in question is, I don't quite make that out, 1.2 by 1.2 millimeter cross section, and it's a 71 millimeter diameter, so that seems to fit really well. Time will tell how well that does actually work, but yeah, it seems to do well compared to the original. And the tape counter belt, I'm just going to put that back on. I can't find one that is suitable as a replacement, so I'll just put this on. It is fine, and at the end of the day, it's just driving the counter, so that's cool. So let's get this put back together. Let's put you on this side. Super. So next thing is to just clean the pinch roller, capstan and the heads, and we can reassemble it and just see how well it performs. Let's crack on. Okay, it's all cleaned up. I didn't cross-contaminate. I sort of used bits that hadn't been used elsewhere, so that's cool. And we've got some sort of brake going on here as well. That's rubber there, so I've cleaned that. It seemed absolutely fine. Quite a bit came off the spall tyres, but that seemed to diminish quite quickly. So relatively pleased with that. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to clean some of this dust away. Won't bother showing that. And then we'll put it back together. Let's crack on. One thing I nearly forgot to do was do the mirror test for the pinch roller, well, generally the tape path. But yeah, you can see on rewind there, that belt is quite deformed. It's fine, it's only driving the counter. If it did break, well, I don't have a counter, as long as the belt doesn't sort of foul anything up. But yeah, let's do the mirror test. So we've got the San Yu test tapes, and we'll start with the 18 micrometer. So this is sort of more of a standard type of cassette, which I assume is going to be perfectly alright. Let's just move that so that clips in. There we go. And press play. And I'm hoping everything will be alright. It's a little bit dodgy how I'm powering this. I haven't got access to my power supply at the moment, so I'm having to use the adapted batteries, which seem to be lasting incredibly well. I've played a lot of cassettes on this, so yeah, it's good. Oh, there is a bit of a wobble. Yeah, so really ideally it could do with, yeah, that's not good. So I'm going to leave it there. I'm not going to do the 9, which would be similar to a C120, which of course didn't exist when this was first released in 1972, 73. But yeah, there's quite a bit of movement there. So it will need the pinch roller done at some point. I mean, there's no real deviation over the head, but that's not really the point. That's going to start chewing tapes as time goes on. So I suppose we better get this back together and do a wow and flutter test and see what it's like. I mean, obviously, I've only put a belt on it. I've not serviced the mechanics, so it'd be quite interesting to see what it's like. Let's crack on. So I've just spotted a problem before we do the wow and flutter that's going to make the wow and flutter pretty awful, I think, because if you look at the pulley there is true, but this is really quite a long way out. I mean, it is solid. It's a solid cast flywheel. It's just not been done very well. So there's that, and then that's what the belt's on. And that's going to be putting a lot of wow and flutter, or a lot of wow, into the actual tape deck. And the other thing, I had a look in the manual as well. I can't find the speed adjustment. I wonder if it might be something here, but it doesn't sort of look like there's any sort of, unless it's buried right down, you need to use a long screwdriver to adjust it. But I can't see that that would be the case because it's a motor. So this is going to be full of windings and the magnets and everything else. So it'd have to be fairly close to the top. But I can't see any adjustment there. Now there is a variable resistor there, but that is not speed. So yeah, it sort of gives away its cheapness, in inverted commas, because I'm sure this wasn't that cheap for what it is, well, compared to like 10 years later, for example, when there were sort of next to nothing to buy these sort of mono desktop cassette decks. So yeah, That's a bit disappointing, but anyway, let's do the wound flutter and see how good or bad it is. Let's crack on. In case you're wondering about the tape being the only thing that actually keeps this tape counter in place, if you look here, it's just for servicing, so when you take it apart it doesn't fall off. So yeah, it is actually located in the plastic of the case, so yeah, it isn't just the tape holding it on, but it is when the top case is off. Cool. So the 3 screws here, they're all these machine screws with the shakeproof washer, and then the screw in the back of the battery compartment, that's self-tapper. So okay, it's about together, but does it work? So I press eject. So wind looks good, plenty of torque. Rewind's good. Play. Let's just try the volume and tone controls. No crackles. That's amazing. You can see the counter there going for it. Let's just try record. So you have to press both down for record. Not one touch record. Not in the 80s yet with this deck. So cool. Okay, let's try cassette. So I just grabbed a cassette. This is probably going to be copyright content matched, but yeah, that is really very strong. Let's just turn that down. Probably not the best track because it has wound flutter in it. But it sounds pretty good, to be fair. So, tone up, tone down. That's really good. So, I suppose the next thing to do, out of interest, I'll run it for a while, but then we'll test the wound flutter and obviously with the test tape, and yeah, see how good it is. But that's really cool, and I'm amazed how well this has survived. I mean, it's obviously not high hours or anything, but you know, it's getting on 50 years old, potentially. Well, 74, I think we said it was. So that is 52 years old. So, yeah, done better than I have. Just test the torque, the deck's torque settings. Okay, so take up torque is 40 to 70 grams. So with sort of it's what, 40, 50, 60 ish. And fast forward should be 90. thereabouts. Well, yeah, that's good. Should be at least 90, and rewind should be about the same. Yeah, it's off the scale. So, you know, the idlers are doing pretty well, to be fair. The other ones I can't actually test with this cassette because it is just literally, there's no tape there, it's just literally measuring the torque. So, yeah, not too bad. So, yeah, let's crack on. And I'm transported to being a kid again. So, wow and flutter test, and you can see, well, speed-wise, it is a bit fast, and the wow and flutter is pretty all over the place. It's what, 0.5, between 0.5 and 0.8, I guess. So yeah, 0.76. So it's noticeable. Doing a listening test, you can certainly hear that it's not, it is wobbling about a little bit. But I've seen worse with modern decks, so, you know, it's quite impressive really, because at the end of the day, this is really designed to record voice. It's a dictation machine, and ultimately, it's mono. You know, you're not going to expect too much, despite it having twin motor. You know, it does seem to almost contradict why it has two motors, almost, because that would increase stability. But then for the 70s, it probably did. So, yeah, this is, I mean, obviously I've just put a belt on it. I've not really fully serviced it. It's not been used for many years, more than likely. So, yeah, it's not doing bad. But, I don't know. I think with the service, I think we could get more out of it, maybe. What do you think? So let's do a recording test, just using the built-in microphone. So we'll see how good this is. When I press play, there's a tiny bit of a crackle from the slider switch inside. So I'm wondering how good the record's going to be, because obviously there's a slide switch for that. I can't remember if it's the same one or not. I have to have a look at the manual. But yeah, this is the sound from that recording anyway, which is quite fun because I'm not monitoring it. So I don't know how good or bad it is until I play it back. Let's crack on. So I just realised that the tone when I recorded the last bit was actually set to 10, so it's set high. So this is actually captured with the tone set to 5. So this is what it sounds like with average, normal, middle of the road tone rather than tone. Let's crack on. So there it is, the Hitachi TRQ-340, and a bit disappointed with it really because of that flywheel and the distortion where the belt goes, and also no speed control, so you can't adjust the speed of the motor, which is really quite poor, even though it was running a bit fast, but not too bad, I suppose. And obviously the wound flutter was not great. I don't know quite whether that matches the service manual's claim, but yeah, so I don't know, do you want me to return to this and give it sort of a full restoration, or or shall we just leave it as it is and use it for the occasional laugh? Let me know in the comments. Also, let me know in the comments if you used one of these back in the day, and especially if you used it with a home computer to load games up and save stuff and whatever. But yeah, I'd be interested to hear your stories using one of these. It feels a little bit like typical Hitachi. Great design, and then they compromise it, cut corners, quality control maybe not that good. Some Hitachi stuff's great, other stuff, I don't know, it's sort of potluck. So anyway, with that, thank you very much for watching. A like and subscribe would be great, and a hype too. And hopefully I shall see you in another video. Bye for now.